Let's get things started. Our first talk is about what processing $500 million in transactions taught us about DTC web stores. So please welcome Miikka from Appcharge.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. A little bit less crowd than last year. I heard there was a couple parties last night. I didn't go, but maybe that's the reason. Anyway, good to see you guys here. Thanks for coming. So today we will talk about how does $500 million in transactions look like and what we learned from it, specifically in terms of monetization, like what are the kind of insights out of it. And this was a report that we actually released at Appcharge a couple of months ago. So I actually want to know how many actually have read the report or even glanced it. Hands up. Anybody? Okay. Somebody? Okay, good. Good. So you guys, I'm actually showing you stuff that you don't know about. That's great. Because I was worried that you've all seen already the report. So, okay, that's a good start. So what is Appcharge? So Appcharge, we are a direct-to-consumer platform. We've been operating for over 3 years in the business. We are working with some of the largest publishers, mobile game publishers in the world, such as Huge Game, Triple Dot, Product Madness, Candy War, list goes on. And recently, we've also started working in terms of expanding our business into the Nordics as well. So excited to tell you more about that, hopefully maybe next year. So very excited about our traction. So who am I? So I've been in the games business for 20 years, 2 decades now, and started making mobile games initially, and then went to the dark side of games business, business side. In the last 5 years, actually, I've been working on payments and direct-to-consumer space. A little bit less creative side, but really, actually, in terms of especially direct-to-consumer, the innovation has been really exciting. So I'm finding my day-to-day work actually being very exciting and a lot of innovation happening in the space, which I'm talking about today. Okay, so specifically in terms of our report, like I wanted to focus on a couple sections of the player journey in the web store. So first of all, the first-time web store sales, which is really the point of entry where you are starting to teach your players what is this web store and why do they have to, what do they get when they go outside of the game and buy something. So really, I think in the last 5 years that I've seen in direct-to-consumer, the gradual shift from the consumer side, the player side, is that they've started to understand what web stores are. And I think we're already there, and we can see some of the numbers that we're seeing across the board. 80% of the first-time visitors are returning to the store. Now, in 2.6 days, which is kind of median average here, from first visit to first purchase. So basically, you are able to grab a lot of those people that come to the store, but you have to engage them. You have a couple days to really grab their attention and make them do a first-time deposit, which is the most important part, because once they do it for the first time, they learn that, okay, this is not a scam site or something. I can actually, if I buy something, I will actually get it in the game. So once they learn that loop once, we've seen that they are very likely to buy again. So what it means to the publishers, it really means that you need to guide the players toward their first purchase. So they're not, this is really something that you gotta focus on in terms of the player journey, and really focus on different vehicles to do that. And that can be whether it's in-game or outside of the game. In-game, it's possible now in the US, for example, to actually promote, for example, welcome offers or special VIP packages directly in the game because of the regulation changes of recently, especially in the US. So you can even do that now. So you can even link direct offers and promote them in the game. So that's obviously a thing that you should be doing if you have a web store. And since that's possible in the US, and like we're seeing that regulatory updates are also opening up in Japan in December. So it's in a very exciting space because you will have more ability to reach your players directly in the game about these offers. And that actually is going to improve a lot of things in terms of getting those people engaged in the first time purchase. Okay, so welcome offers, I just briefly mentioned it. I think it's very important to basically recognize, especially if you have an existing game that's been operating for a while and the players are being introduced to the web store the first time. So what you want to do is really target personalized welcome offers. And personalization is key here, is really making an irresistible offer for the right cohort, at the right price point, at the right value point. And that's I cannot stress how important that is, because that's really the first time deposit. And if you're able to crack that, they will come back again. Okay, so why is it important to track your players after the purchase? Because, well, first of all, this is where metrics come into play a lot, because you need to understand their behavior. Like once they actually go to the store, they buy something, are they buying again? And this is something that you should make sure you have the ability to track those players and their behavior across the web store and in-game. And that's something that's very important to plan for when you launch a web store. Seasonality is super important. We've seen amazing sales from our partners, especially tied to different season events. And most web stores where we see the best performing web stores really dance on the wave of these events. Like it really increases the monetization, and I would say that for web stores, it's probably one of the main ways to monetize at scale. So really bringing those seasonal offers, making them exciting, visually exciting, that's key. Okay, so we talked about the first journey, but what we are seeing from the numbers is that the players do stick around. So this is really encouraging because we can see that it's not just people going to buy once. This is a place where once they actually do their first time purchase or first time deposit, they do, half of them make a second purchase. And half of those repeat buyers make their second purchase within 7 days. So once they learn that they get more value out of the web store, which is important. So you need to clearly state the additional value that they get. Once they learn that, we are seeing really good numbers that they're going to go back frequently. And 63% of two-time buyers go to make a third purchase. So this is also telling you a story that most of these are really VIP cohorts that are heavy spenders. So your web store really is going to work for those cohorts the best. The VIPs, the players that spend a lot in the game anyway. So this is how you should be designing your store and those offers. And the more personalized those offers on the store are, the better they actually sell. 70% of players who buy 4 times will buy a 5th time. So they do stick around quite well. So this is, we can see retention is important as well. So retention, and how do you get to that retention? And what does it mean for you as a publisher? Number 1 for retention, daily bonus. This is very important. Obviously, every time the player goes into the web store, they should get something. They should be rewarded for actually just visiting there. So it can be a free gift. It can be something that gives them a little bit of an incentive to go there and kind of build a habit to check out the offers almost every day, daily, weekly, so that they create it as their habit, like they go collect their free stuff there every day. And progress bar, obviously, giving them a sense of loyalty and rewards on loyalty. So whenever they do purchases on the web store, they understand that it's accumulating loyalty and unlocking new, better offers in the store. And then finally, things like being able to, one of the things we've seen is, funny thing is people just, because it's a web store, there's a URL, people simply forget what the URL is to players. Like, oh, where's the shop? Like, they Google it and maybe they don't find it. So two things are important. Obviously, you need to make sure your SEO is in place. So when players actually search for your game, ideally the web store is the first thing you get. Second is, for example, we are offering a feature where you can actually bookmark the store directly into your homepage. And this is something that you can even incentivize for the players to do. So they get a free reward if they actually add it to their home screen. And that's important for retention. And then tapping into the buying momentum. So post-purchase offer, this is important because like what we've seen from our team's background, which many of them come from building games from our product team, one of the most important effective ways to monetize is directly after the purchase. And it's very simple, but it's very effective. And of course, you don't want to let those first-time buyers go cold. So social checkout links, this is where it's actually, I feel like the future of D2C is going to pivot as well towards to. So it's not just a web store, it's actually players able to send each other deep links of these offers, which creates like a community thing in itself, like whether it's Discord, Facebook, so they're able to kind of like share these offers with each other, other players, and that's how you kind of create those offers and let them go viral in their own right. And I think that's something that I feel like I'd love to see more publishers do. We started to see some good numbers on that with some of our partners. So okay, let's wrap it up. So thinking beyond the first purchase, that's important. Building seasonality, very important. Leveraging engagement tools, daily bonuses, rolling offers, all of these features that really are fun for the players, actually. So I think that's what web stores ultimately should be. Buying stuff should be fun, as well as playing it, of course. But it needs to tap into the same fun of the core game that the players love and the reason why they play it. Personalizing the experience. So segmentation, by far, is the biggest modifier of success in web stores. What we've seen can be over 20% improvement if you have personalization versus you don't. And that's really key. We consider personalization and segmentation as the MVP of all of the features when you're building a web store. Because if the offers are not personalized, they're not interesting. So they need to be really targeting the right people. The offers need to trigger them and get them excited. Yeah. Thank you. And check out the report on the website for more info and insights. You can also come talk to me, find me after the talk. Happy to answer some questions in private as well if you want, or if you have some.
Do you have any questions actually from the audience? No? I have a question. Oh, have we got one? Great.
Hey, thanks.
How are you? Perfect.
Thanks for the talk, Miikka. I'm not an expert on the topic, so this is a little bit of a dummy question. But so the very last thing you mentioned about the segmentation, so I'm wondering how that works. If you have personalized offers for someone, but then they end up in a website, does that mean that the website somehow needs to be coded to be personalized to that specific user?
That's a really good question. So quite often,
hip hop.
the first thing I ask when I start talking to a developer or publisher who are either building a web store or are trying to improve it, number one thing is to ask yourself, does my game have segmentation in the first place? So you need to have segmentation in the game in order to kind of take it outside of the game. And the way that it works is, for example, at Appcharge we have a segmentation API that simply just pulls your cohort, so you don't have to reconfigure that. And that's how it should be, because Otherwise, you're duplicating the work of all the segments that you build in the game. Having to build them again, that doesn't make any sense. So first of all, you need to have good segmentation in your game itself, and you're simply displaying those same cohorts on the website, different offers, obviously. So you're just these are new offers. They're just exclusive to the web.
Quick question. So as a leader in the space, what are you guys seeing, going back to the social checkout feature that you're talking about, what do you see in terms of the difference in conversion rate on those purchases? Are you seeing higher conversion rate when a social link is provided to another person, or what does that look like?
That's actually a really exciting question. The simple truth is we don't have enough data yet. So that's why I was saying I wish more people would try it out. And I personally, my thesis is that absolutely it should have a better conversion. Especially, I feel like in terms of social offers that you can share with people, we do need to create more mechanisms to reward that, like chain offers, for example. Like if I send an offer to 5 of my friends, 1 of them buys it or 2 buy it, I'm gonna get a discount too. So I think there's ways to gamify that as well, and I think that needs to happen in order to really tap into the power of it. But there's a lot of room to innovate there. So that's a great question.
Great. Right, I'm going to have to wrap it up. Miikka is here to answer your questions, so do grab him at any time during the show. Sorry, Miikka, I'm just inviting people in to speak to you. Let's have a round of applause for Miikka.